Hello friends, Vince Burlapp here. Today we are talking about the new Acura ZDX, and holy crow, it is a good-looking electric beast, even in white, which is quite amazing since white cars tend to look rather unremarkable and uninspired, except for a few old Cadillacs and tow trucks. But this new electric Acura has a simple, clean, and modern design that only a few can achieve. Your less fortunate family and friends will be quite surprised and pleased by your sudden burst of good taste. And yes, the good old plastic Acura logo is still here, right up front, although not as big as usual, and especially not surrounded by a huge, ghastly grille. This is, after all, the 21st century, and we don't need all that plastic crap on our cars anymore. The big 22-inch wheels on the Type-S trim look great and will no doubt make your neighbors jealous to no end, especially the bright yellow brake calipers, something no one really needs. But you never know. Impressing your destitute and envious neighbors is always a good thing in my book. Of course, there are plenty of Type-S logos everywhere, making sure everyone knows you didn't buy just some new Acura no one has ever heard of. You bought the high-end Type-S version, the one that comes with everything and goes faster than any car should. This baby can really cook some oil. That one is for the winners in the world. The interior is fine if you don't require something too fancy. Yes, it is different from the Honda Prologue, but not really better. The same impressive panoramic sunroof will provide you with first-class seats to the upcoming alien invasion of planet Earth and its ensuing mayhem and destruction. You'll notice some of the switches are the same as in the Honda Prologue. The GM stalks and steering wheels work fine, but should have also been upgraded from the Honda version. But have no fear, as this will all be forgotten once you fire up the new Bang & Olufsen sound system and invite everybody's best friend, Barry White, to your private in-car concert. His delightful and inspiring music will fill the ZDX interior and will dazzle your envious, jealous, and borderline resentful guests. The phone charger does a great job of charging your expensive mobile device as slowly as possible, while heating it as fast as it can. This is not good news, since a roasting phone and a hot temper are all you will need to start a fight with family members or co-workers. It doesn't take much these days, you know. The rest of the console is fine, but again, not very fancy looking, unlike myself and a few Hollywood legends. The required plugs are all there. The storage area is large enough for your beloved camera or even a container of well-deserved adult beverages. There's even a light in there to find your valued and esteemed items. Nothing will be lost under that large, unadjustable, red leather-covered armrest. I'm not sure what this dark plastic is supposed to be. A strange finish that doesn't look or feel very luxurious. You will have to ignore mindless questions about it from some of your cretinous passengers. Just make sure this endless parade of dimwits is never welcome again in your fancy electric chariot. These little bits of trim on the doors and dashboard are for the ambient lights, something kids seem to like these days. But at night, these lights are only on the doors for some reason, which is not a problem for me since these always remind me of a cheap motel room in Fresno, where I spend way too much time back in the old days. Way too much time. In order to reintroduce these old casino-style memories, the interior of the Type-S can be ordered in this intense and frightening red interior color. The rear seat is quite vast, and most humans will find comfort without having to resort to fights or struggle with other passengers. Brutal rear seat brawls are an existential threat to our society, and I'm glad to see Acura taking a strong stand against it. There are also enough dials, buttons, and various plugs to keep backseat travelers busy enough. The rear sunshade will also help. Unlike the Honda Prologue, the Acura ZDX can be ordered with their equivalent of GM's Super Cruise, a doodad called hands-free cruise most will never use except to freak out unsuspicious passengers. What is actually useful is the self-parking feature. Not a new thing, but always impressive, and the look on your passengers' faces will be worth the price of admission. This is an extremely spectacular gimmick that must be used on a first date at all costs. Of course, you can park your own car, but you decide not to. You tell your car what to do. However, the way it stops when backing up can be pretty jarring at times, causing some of your passengers to literally freak out and head for the hills. The new Acura ZDX is just a wonderful car to drive. Smooth, quiet, and solid. It reminds me of myself in many ways. It also looks quite distinctive. I just wish the interior was a bit more special. Special is a rare thing these days.